everybody. Welcome to the show with Mike and T. Royce here. What up, T?
There we are. Hi.
How are you, pal?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Just okay?
Yeah, I found another chicks monk in the house.
Yeah. We get rid of that guy yet?
I don't think so.
No. He's still lingering around?
Yeah, I was down at my computer doing some prep, and all of a sudden, this son of a bitch goes scurrying across the dining room carpet or whatever, and right into the kitchen.
That son of a bitch.
And he gone.
He gone.
I don't know where he went. I swear I heard some squeaks. They make an unmistakable squeak sound.
Yeah, right. Not to be confused with what you're going to hear Cece doing for the next hour and a half
that is,
with a squeaky toy she managed to get down
that's her
here.
baby. It's one of her babesies.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what to do, man. I had one in the bedroom yesterday. Cece was going nuts. We had so much fun trying to catch it, and then all of a sudden I couldn't find it. And I go downstairs, and that one's on the wall by the front door.
Yep.
Up on a ledge, and it was like shit. So you opened the back door, the front door.
Give him an escape route.
Yeah. And next thing you know, he's gone. And it was like, oh, okay, he must have just made it outside.
Yep.
So I don't know if that was 2 chipmunks in the house.
I'm not sure.
Or if it
Well,
was
we did
one.
find, so there's when we took the dishwasher out last time, we realized that there's not like a whole wall behind there, that it's kind of open into some weird cavity space back there. And
Yeah.
like there had been some critters back through there.
Yeah.
Which we assume were just mice or whatever for over the years.
Right.
But we did see there's a little gap by the dishwasher.
Yeah.
We were looking around to where this guy could have gone. I'm like, I wonder if he went back there.
Well, I was shining a light under the island. He wasn't under there.
Yeah.
He couldn't, from what I could tell, he couldn't get under the oven or the fridge. Doesn't mean he couldn't go back behind the fridge through a little gap. In
Yeah, it's possible.
Siding, but it seemed like that was the most logical place, was that little spot under the dishwasher.
Would you like to tell him my genius idea?
No, you tell him.
All right.
Yeah.
So I drizzled some baby powder across the opening
Yeah.
so that we would know, we could tell if someone went through there.
Yeah.
And then we left for a little bit and came back, and sure as shit, there were some little white footprints coming right back
Yeah.
out of there, that little son of a bitch.
Yeah.
So he came back out.
Yeah.
He might have gone back in. I don't know, because I can't tell if it goes the other way.
Yeah.
But you know where I learned that trick?
Huh.
Don.
Really?
Yep.
That was a Don maneuver.
You know why?
Huh.
When I lost my snake in the house.
Really?
Yeah, I had no idea where he was. So through all the door thresholds, we put little lines of baby powder so that we could tell which way he went. We could track him down, and we found him.
You did?
Yeah, and to find him. That once we did, once he didn't. I never did find him. Sorry, dude. But once I found him coiled up behind the water heater.
What kind of snake was he?
He was a ball python.
Really? Mm-hmm. I didn't know. I don't remember that. You must have been younger.
No.
No?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, of course, you got to remember my snake.
I don't remember your snake. I remember Ed's snake.
Yeah, Ed had a big ass snake. Mine wasn't that big. But I turned my closet in the bedroom into into his cage.
Yeah,
and then
I
realized that he
remember
could smush. And I don't know. He must have just dug it for a while, because I never did anything with the door. It's just a small gap, but I didn't realize how small they could smush. Oh, is that a chipmunk?
No, that's the cease.
Mm-hmm. This is gonna be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, and I fucking woke up one day. I went to bed with him in his cage in the closet. Just the closet was a cage. There was no actual cage in the closet,
Right.
but I just made it a little terrarium. And I woke up to him on my face.
Oh, freak you out?
No, I loved him. He was great.
Yeah.
But I couldn't sleep with him because he'd take off and I wouldn't know where he was. So
Yeah.
I'd leave him in there. But I woke up. Yeah, he got out and came in, and all of a sudden was kissing my face. That's how I woke up. I was like, how the hell did you get out?
Yeah.
And I realized, oh, that little son of a bitch, you can smush out of there.
Yeah. They can. These critters can make themselves extremely small.
Yeah.
When they want to get through somewhere.
And then even that, so I would I started wedging like a towel under the door so he couldn't get out.
Yeah.
But he got fucking mad enough. He just pushed the towel out of the way.
Really?
They're
Yeah.
strong. They're strong. Especially
Yeah.
when they get some leverage, like against the back wall, and can push.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So I don't know what the next move is.
I don't
We're gonna be
know.
able to find that dude or what, but I don't like it.
If we only had a cat.
Right?
Useless motherfucker.
Dude, and outside he murders everything. He must be on strike or something. He must be upset about something.
Maybe he's letting them
fat
in. Maybe
pants.
maybe there's a truce. Maybe there's an alliance going on.
It makes sense now. A few months back, I found one just murdered
Yeah, in or out.
inside, and it was one of the most disastrous criminal murders scenes I've ever seen. Pants did a number on this son of a bitch. I mean, pulled innards out, ripped this son of a bitch to shit.
Well, he
on
was
the
sending a
carpet.
message.
Yeah.
That
So
left it out for all his friends to see.
Yeah. Well, I assumed that Pants brought him in the house.
Exactly.
But now I'm starting to think, whichever way this dude got in, maybe his cousin got in that way, and Pants sent a message that was not well received.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, they could be coming to avenge his death.
yeah. So I don't know where he was. He must have been outside or something yesterday, because when all that shit was going down in the bedroom, he's usually hiding out in my bedroom. You know, because Cece will kind of leave him if he's under the bed, and otherwise Cece wants to play with him, and he doesn't want anything to do with that. So yeah, it was an awful scene. But I don't know. I don't know where he is right now. I was calling him earlier to come down and help us. But in the middle of the night, if he's roaming around, he will fuck that thing up.
Yeah, let's hope.
Yeah.
I'm not cleaning it up.
No, I usually do, but it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Oh, never a dull moment, eh?
It's never a dull moment, dude. Never a dull moment.
Indeed.
Let's get to some news. A lot going on in the world. It looks like this Elon Musk Twitter buy-through is going to happen.
Okay.
Friday. It sounds like they have to come to a resolution for him to buy it by Friday, or then it goes into litigation.
All right.
And so Twitter employees, they're thrilled.
Oh, I can tell.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which is it's heartwarming.
I know.
Oh, you don't have a phone number for us to call when there's a problem?
I can't wait for the bloodbath.
Oh, my God.
Day one, Monday morning.
Well, he's called for blowing out 75% of the staff,
Yep.
which I think, as the owner of the company, would be a prerogative of his.
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I got to trim some fat around here.
Yeah.
Gotta streamline this business. Got to make it profitable.
So Twitter has liked to hide behind whatever we say goes, and if you don't like it, fuck off. Yeah. Oh, you want to get a hold of us? Fuck off.
Bye-bye.
So they don't have time for any of us when we've got legit concerns, or when they make a mistake, or when they accuse you of something that you haven't really done.
Yes, that.
Slight misunderstanding. They err in favor of fucking you over and then leaving you no recourse. Whether it's TikTok or Facebook or Twitter, they all seem to play this game.
Yeah.
And it's very, very frustrating. There's nothing worse than terrible customer service.
That's the truth.
And they've acted like they're above all of us, that they don't have to play by those rules because they're Silicon Valley. We're tech geniuses and billionaires, and fuck you if you don't like it.
When did the 800 number go away?
I don't
When
know.
did it come to a point where you couldn't actually call and talk to somebody if you needed to?
I don't know.
Like, it's not even an option.
No, there's literally no recourse.
I mean, I guess if you really dig, you could probably find a number somewhere somehow, but it's not out like...
It's not readily available.
It's not customer support.
No.
Call 800 eat dick.
Yeah, exactly. 1-800-EAT-DICK is what their number would be, and they would mean it. It's terribly frustrating because what it does is it subconsciously makes you sort of abide by their rules and play by their rules, because there's no two sides to the story when it comes to these social media groups.
Yeah, there's no course of action.
No, which it used to be. Like, yours was a simple misunderstanding with the Pablo picture.
Yep.
Right? Innocent as shit. It was not, like, of course they jumped to the conclusion that, oh, you must be threatening someone with the cartel. Like, really? That's where you came to on that? Couldn't be any other reason to post this world-famous photo of Pablo Escobar.
Yeah.
Couldn't be any other reason at all. It must be that you're threatening someone like a cartel member. So you're going to go to their house and dismember them like a cartel fucking family would.
Seems legit.
Yeah. Right. And there's no recourse to go, hey, guys, I guess if I think hard enough, I could see how you came to the conclusion you came to.
Yeah.
But here's what this was actually about. If you need me to put you in touch with the other individual involved,
Yeah,
I'd
it'd be
glad
nice to have
do
both
that.
parties, be able to state their case, and
Right.
it could be resolved very
And that would
quickly
have
and
been
easily.
something where you and Connor would have both laughed with Twitter and gone, here's what this was about. Sorry, guys, didn't mean to set off your alarms.
Yeah.
Seem a little touchy and sensitive, but here's the reality of it.
Stand down, Facebook.
Stand down. No need for a fucking 100-year ban on your platform, So anyway, Twitter employees have penned an open letter slamming Elon Musk's plans to fire as much as 3/4 of the company's workforce ahead of the deadline of his $44 billion acquisition, which must be completed by Friday, or, as I said, settled by the courts. So I have their letter. Would you like to hear Twitter employees?
Oh, absolutely verbatim.
Who think they have a lot of pull. They've been able to get away with murder.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
The
Elon Musk
the
coming in.
inmates were running the asylum.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
So they still think about any company you work for pulling this shit and thinking that, you have ultimate say because you work there. You were hired in at X dollars an hour or a salary.
There's a new sheriff in town.
Yeah, and that gives you carte blanche to be a dick, to be passive aggressive, to be panderous to everybody, to be smug and above the law at your own company. So, staff, Elon Musk, and board of directors.
Okay.
We, the undersigned Twitter workers, believe the public conversation is in jeopardy. Yeah, you put it in jeopardy a few years back.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
It is. It very much is, which is what the remedy is trying to do.
Exactly.
I understand you think
That's
there's
why
only,
we're here.
Yeah. You think there's only one side to a story, which is how we got here in the first place. So now as people come in, new sheriff in town, as you put it, to fix the problem, they don't like it. Elon Musk's plan to lay off 75% of Twitter workers will hurt Twitter's ability to serve the public conversation.
Will it?
Will it?
Well, let's see. Let's find out, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's see how
seems dangerous, but I'm willing to give it a try.
Let's see how
too.
necessary these people truly are.
Yeah.
Because I got to believe that's a pretty self-sustaining system.
A threat of this magnitude is reckless, undermines our users and customers' trust in our platform, and is a transparent act of worker intimidation.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
You know what? The reality is trust in your platform has been gone for a long time. You did that on your own, by the way. Undermining your users, you've been doing that for years now.
Yeah.
So we're trying to fix the shit you started years ago.
Exactly.
Let's keep that in mind. Twitter has significant effects on societies and communities across the globe. A threat to workers at Twitter is a threat to Twitter's future. These threats have an impact on us as workers and demonstrate a fundamental disconnect with the realities of operating Twitter. They threaten our livelihoods, access to essential health care. Oh, meaning if you don't have a job, you don't have health care.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah, crazy. Access to essential health care. Oh, I see. It's essential when it comes to you.
Yeah.
And the ability for visa holders to stay in the country they work in. Oh, I'm sorry, Sanctuary City. You wanted to just make sure all illegals could work for your company forever?
Well, if they have a work visa, they're not illegal.
Well, they won't be. They will when that expires.
And I'm betting most of those didn't come from the South.
No. We can do our work in an environment of we cannot do our work in an environment of constant harassment and threats. Without our work, there is no Twitter. Okay, and most of us would be just fine with that.
Yeah.
Do you think Twitter is a net positive on
This sounds
society?
like the threat, by the way.
It sure does. We, the workers at Twitter, will not be intimidated. We recommit to supporting the communities, organizations, and businesses who rely on Twitter. We will not stop serving the public conversation. Not your call, assholes.
I hope just about 3/4 of the company signed that letter.
Yeah.
That would be
Make sure
ideal.
you put your name on there
Yep.
and your social security number,
Exactly.
DOB.
Yeah.
So we call on Twitter management and Elon Musk to cease these negligent layoff threats. Ooh, or what exactly?
This is just lobbying for position. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So that they can try and sue when they do get fired.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah. We deserve concrete commitment so we can contribute to, we can continue to preserve the integrity of our platform. Your platform has zero integrity.
Oh,
you lost that again years ago. What are you talking about?
Concrete? What? What was that? We want
We deserve concrete commitments.
commitment, right?
Yeah. So we
deserve concrete commitments. Okay.
We demand of current and future leadership. 1, respect.
Okay.
Like the way you've respected half the country.
Hey,
that kind of respect.
Who's to say that he's not going to come in and respect you? That's
Yeah.
that's a big leap.
Sounds like 3/4 of you aren't going to get the respect you think.
Well, listen,
you deserve.
even you can be respectfully fired.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because you lost your job doesn't mean that
Can
you
you
were
be
disrespected.
respectfully told to get the fuck out? Respectfully?
As long as you say respectfully.
Yeah.
I think,
You have to
I think
acknowledge
that covers
that.
it. Exactly.
Respectfully.
Get the fuck out.
Respectfully, I'd like 3/4 of you to get the fuck out.
With
I
all,
don't care.
With all due respect.
With all due respect.
Pack your shit.
Yeah. And I don't care which 3/4 of you, discuss amongst yourselves.
Yep.
And then 75% of you need to get the fuck out now. with all due respect.
Yeah. Let's start with who signed this letter.
And it is a little harsher than what Twitter's done to half the country. Twitter said fuck off to half the country, whereas Elon is saying 3/4 of Twitter can get the fuck out.
Yeah.
So
Hey, I think it's just a business move. You got to streamline. You got to strip it down and build it back up.
Yeah.
You got to make this thing. It's a business, man.
and gain trust
Yeah.
of the public.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
That should be. That's going to be secondary.
Respect. So that's what we demand.
Okay.
We demand leadership to respect the platform and the workers who maintain it by committing to preserving the current head count.
Oh boy.
Thanks. We'll take that into consideration.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Fuck
Sure.
off.
So the only way to respect them is for incoming leadership to preserve the current head count.
Oh,
Meaning-
hey,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can get rid of 75% of you and bring in 75 new people, and that would concretely preserve your head count.
Yeah. Good point.
Doesn't have to be those exact heads.
Safety. They demand of current and future leadership safety.
Safe spaces.
No. Well, they say
Cry rooms?
safety, so I'm assuming this is like, half the Twitter building is under construction, so we need hard hats if we're going to be in that wing of the building.
Perhaps.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, safety toe shoes, things like that.
There's some hazards in the parking lot with potholes. We're worried about rolled ankles, so you need to preserve our safety. I think that's where they're going with
Should
this.
be priority number one, I would think.
Yeah. We demand that leadership does not discriminate against workers on the basis of their race, gender, disability, sexual orientation, or political beliefs.
Womp womp.
Yeah. Now, if Twitter's new boss comes in and goes, any of you fucking homos in here, get out.
Yeah.
That's a lawsuit. That's already illegal.
Absolutely.
So you don't need to put this in a demand. That's already illegal.
They made sure their political affiliation was in there too, so he can't say, you libtards, get out.
Get out, even though that's what it is. We all know that. He's smart enough to word that properly.
Yeah.
What he can't do is go, hey, Wheelie, yeah, you
Yep.
fuckface in the wheelchair. Get the fuck out of here. You think I'm wasting money on ramps for you?
I'm getting rid
Beat
of this
it.
elevator post haste.
Yeah. Guess what? Already illegal. Lawsuit if he does something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure he's fairly familiar with running a business of some size. I think
Yeah.
he's got the team around him that is going to keep
Yeah.
dot the I's and cross the T's.
Would it be a problem, T, if he walked in and went, hey, all you fucking darkies, get out. I don't have room in here for your fucking dark skin. Beat it. Can he do that?
We talking about the Indians too, though?
Yeah, probably all of them.
Well, that might be your 75%.
Maybe. But I would think that would be discrimination on the basis of race.
Absolutely would.
Yeah, and that would be a problem, right? Because that's illegal in America.
No, but it should be real easy to, go down based on your performance history.
What?
To fire people based on
Yeah.
your work history, your performance. There's nothing to do with your race, your creed,
Yeah, but of course it has to do with race and stuff.
We'll see.
Because the only reason I was fired is because I was black.
Well, they're going to say that. They're going to try it.
Yeah. Good luck with that. Hope that works for you in court. Hey, any of you with a pair of tits and a vagine, out. You're out. Why? Because you have tits and a vagine, you can't take jokes. If you said that, would that be a problem?
I mean, it wouldn't be wrong, but it would probably be a lawsuit.
But in a
yes.
court of law, that would be a problem. So as long as he avoids all those things,
Yep.
and I think he knows how to do that.
I would hope so.
We also demand safety for workers on visas,
Okay.
who will be forced to leave the country they work in if they are laid off. Good. Go work in your own country then.
Okay.
When your visa expires. How about that?
You don't get a
Or
grace.
apply
Is
for
there
a
at
new
least? Yeah, I was gonna say, is there a grace period that you can look for a job at least?
Yeah.
While you're still on that visa.
I don't know. And maybe that's
sure
75% of their workforce anyways.
Maybe.
Maybe
Who
you
knows?
just cut off that 75%.
That's
As
what
soon
it
as your
is.
visa expires, you get the fuck out. How about that?
Yeah. Bringing jobs back to America.
Yeah. Or spend the 10 years like most immigrants and learn the background of the country, come in through the front door instead of weaseling in through a side door or a back door, and abide by the laws and rules of this country.
Wow,
And, and then you could stay.
But that being on a work visa is doing it the right way.
Yeah.
So there's
Unless you overextend your work visa.
well,
So what are they worried about? He's not going to fire you for having a work visa.
no, but if he fires the people with work visas,
Yeah, but I don't think you could do that. If they've got a work visa, they're technically legal.
I know,
So-
but you can still fire not for having a work visa. They can
But
fire
being a
people
shit employee?
with a work visa. Yes.
So then are people with work visas not fireable?
Of course they are.
Okay, well then,
Yep.
what are we talking about?
They're
Not
just
you and me.
trying to cover all the bases, buddy.
Okay.
Like I said, make sure that this is a class action suit.
Okay. We demand protection. So I'm assuming that
Free
historically, yeah, free condoms in the
Just bowls of condoms.
and not just in the men's bathroom.
Okay.
You need condom and tampon dispensers in both.
All right.
Right.
Fair enough, yeah.
Protection. I would think that would mean like
Armed guards?
a lit parking lot for nighttime employees. I would think that would mean security fences,
Yeah.
security guards, perhaps.
Yep.
Their idea of protection, we demand Elon Musk explicitly commit to preserve our benefits. Those both listed in the merger agreement and not, example, remote work. So we not only demand,
Ding, ding, ding.
this is your red in your wheelhouse,
Yeah,
Steve.
exactly.
They're demanding you will protect us with all our benefits listed in the merger agreement and not, including if we don't even want to come to work. Fuck you, we're still employed.
Yeah, he has to honor the ones in the agreement.
Yeah.
Nothing above and beyond that.
Right. In fact, I don't even know. Well, I guess he would have to honor the ones in the agreement.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, and even if he wanted to honor the other ones,
Yeah.
get a letter like this,
Yeah.
no, absolutely not.
We're taking that out
I
of
was.
the-
I thought about it. I was going to go ahead with the work from home, the remote shit, but
Yeah. I was willing to listen to your concerns.
yeah, but
Now-
no. Now that I think about it,
You know what? There are some benefits to being the overall buck stops here boss.
Yeah.
And one of those is
HNIC,
fuck
buddy.
off. HNIC.
Yep.
You can't say anymore.
What do you mean?
Well, can't. The acronym we can say.
I did.
That's about it. I'd like to inform the younger people who might not know what HNIC means.
Have at it, sir.
Google it. Google it.
Go Blacks!
Anyway,
Okay. We demand leadership to establish and ensure fair severance policies for all workers before and after any change in ownership. I would think he knows plenty about severance packages.
yeah. Well, yeah. I don't. Yeah, I don't. You don't get to negotiate your exit before the new owner comes in, right?
No.
Because it's say before
Yeah.
and after new owners.
And I'll tell you this, as someone who's had ownership changes, to radio stations I worked with, it is a tense moment for all of us. Welcome to working in America, Twitter employees. It is when, I don't care if you're new ownership or new management of a football team or any company, name it, in America. People are going to want to come in and put their stamp of approval on it. They're going to want to go with their guys. They're going to want to go with, so we had a GM come over from, I believe he was at 96.3 one time. Great dude, Steve. I love Steve.
Oh yeah,
But-
fucking Steve.
It's fucking Steve. And Steve just wants to crush puss. I'll be honest with you. He's one of those dudes, just baller but smart, ran multiple radio stations, ran them around the country, was in New York, LA. He's done it all. And Steve's great. I still talk to him to this day. But Steve absolutely brought in fucking his head sales chick from 96.3 and his head whatever department head from wherever. Like, people do that.
Like
You
a new
see-
coach.
Like a new
Coaching
new
staff.
coach brings in a staff that he's familiar with, is comfortable with, trusts.
Exactly.
So it's not something new where as current ownership is going out, you don't get to do a demand letter to the new ownership about what they can and can't do with their new business.
Yeah, and you listen.
It's
your
not
beef-
how it works.
Your beef's not with Elon Musk. You should have brought this up with current ownership and management before they agreed to the deal. Any negotiations, any demands that you had that should have been part of this takeover should have been included in the original.
And if they were smart, they
agreement.
would have blown off your demands and requirements then and said, look, you're an at-will employee.
Yep.
Okay, you're an at-will employee. If the new guy wants to come in and for no reason, but because the grass is green or it rained on Wednesday,
As long as it's
wants
not
to
'cause you got-
fire all of you,
Tits in the vagine.
yeah, as long as it's not because you're a chick who eats pussy or you're a fucking guy who happens to be black, he could fire you because it rained on Wednesday. And there's nothing you can do about it. So how about you put your head down, you put in the hard work, you stop playing identity politics
Yep.
and offending, and I mean deeply offending, a lot of fucking people. Stop doing that. Dignity. Oh, you want dignity. Okay. We demand transparent, prompt, and thoughtful communication around our working conditions. We demand to be treated with dignity and not to be treated as mere pawns in a game played by billionaires. Sincerely, Twitter workers. Okay, here's a little...
We demand. God, I love it. We demand.
Demand. Can you... I'm trying to think.
What are you going to do? Quit?
Yeah.
you know, organize a walkout?
Or...
Okay.
Or what?
Yeah.
Like, I remember when new management would come in, like a new PD or new ownership or new GM, whatever it was always a sketchy time. And the thought that we would put together some mandatory letter demanding blah, blah, blah.
Our list of demands.
And here's the thing. At a radio station, where you've got numbers, you've got power. So the Drew and Mike show got away with murder across the board because it was like, what are you going to do, fire us?
Yeah.
It's not like you can go hire another Drew and Mike show. Right. So, no, they couldn't. We, by all accounts, or Drew and Mike, could put together some letter mandating how things are going to be, blah, blah, blah. And if there's a million radio stations they could go work at.
Some leverage, yes.
A little bit of leverage.
Right.
Now, you're behind the scenes engineer, nerd guy. You think there's not a dime a dozen of you around the world? Mm-hmm. There are. So for you to put together, it's not like, oh, we fire Bill and Bill happens to be the outward celebrity at Twitter that everybody knows and loves, and he's got a little bit of fucking clout. You engineer, from janitors to engineers, you do not have that kind of namesake where it's like, oh, we can't lose Bill the engineer under any circumstances. Yeah. Why? Of course you can.
I hope he does put in, I hope he does vet these people enough to where it's not just a blanket hatchet job, and that you find out who is the real problem, who's been perpetuating that. Some people are, some people aren't. I don't know if it is everybody or if there's going to be good people that are going to get swept up as collateral damage. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to really, truly vet that. But I would hope going forward that he does on some level rather than just like, if your last name starts with A through M, goodbye.
Right.
The rest of you we're going to keep.
My guess is the staff you're talking about, by and large, a lot of them are not grounded in principles. They're not grounded in morals. They're subscribing to this almost cult-like fat thing where they happen to be in charge. They do wield a lot of power, and they haven't shown a lot of restraint with it. Mm-hmm. All the restraint and compassion they're demanding from incoming bosses, have they shown that level of restraint and compassion to average Americans? And my answer would be no. Mm-hmm. Across the board, that's a no. Yep. And you can feel it, you see it, in their patronizing fucking notes to people, the way they just blow you off without a conversation, the way they just act like there's only one side to the story and that's all we care about, and fuck you if you don't agree with it. So now you're demanding. Remember all the people that said, oh, you don't like it, start your own Twitter.
How about we just buy yours?
Yeah. How about he buys yours and then you start your own Twitter?
Yep.
How about that? When you and I wrote it down. That's what you told half the country to do in a very patronizing way and a condescending tone when people accused you of targeting conservatives for the most part and bending your Twitter rules. I don't care what you say. You bent your Twitter rules to fit your warped ideology. Mm-hmm. That's what you did. Okay. Now you want all this transparency. When did you give us transparency? Name the time you gave us transparency about any decision you made. And then when you were called on it, you doubled down and basically told people to eat shit.
1-800.
Eat the whole bag. That's what you did.
Yeah.
So if you don't like it, start your own Twitter.
Yeah.
You're so important. I'm sure it's more than a name and a blue check. Go ahead and start your own Twitter.
Start Twatter.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Start Shitter, okay? Start Shitter. And then take all your employees, take 100% of them. Start your own company, and we'll see how you do, because the new boss is coming in. And I get the feeling you don't like being mocked or patronized. I feel like there's a lesson to be learned in here somewhere.
Perhaps.
But I feel like you're not going to learn it.
No, probably not.
But I don't feel like these people are grounded in any sort of morals or values. It's this ideology that they've subscribed to, almost like a religion. So my guess is behind the scenes, when you're trying to do that vetting process you talked about, you're going to find that these people sell each other out big time.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, they want their oversized paychecks.
Exactly.
And so if it means shitting all over your fucking department heads and your workers, where you're looking for a leg up somewhere, how do I stay? How do I be one of the 25%? That's what these people are going to be. That's fighting each other.
That would be great to watch them eat themselves.
Yeah.
You know,
we've seen it time and again.
And it'd almost be more fun to keep some of the most egregious offenders,
right,
and change the rules and make them have to abide by them.
Yeah.
And see if they can.
I don't know that that's a good idea, because here's what we found. Even when laws are passed, even when, when it's, especially, you see this a lot popping up over the gender argument, right? And Florida comes out and says, look, we're not going to allow hospitals to be using these drugs on children, right? You don't know the long-term effects. These absolutely have long-term, lifetime effects on children when you're talking about their ability to, everything from getting a hard-on to getting pregnant. Like, it has effects on them, and you're flat lying if you act like, no, there's no harm in any of this stuff at all. Why not cut off puberty before it starts? We'll see how this plays out. Yeah. So they've put laws in place saying you cannot do this, okay? You cannot go rogue and just for profit margins start castrating children and plucking out titties of healthy 13-year-old girls. We're not going to do that in Florida. And so a lot of these places went, yeah, go fuck yourself. We're not going to abide by your laws. And so these people that are rooted in this ideology, to me, it's a cancer that needs to be absolutely fucking melon scooped out. Like, these people need to learn a lesson that there are consequences when you decide you're better than everybody else, you're bigger than the law, because that's what we've seen. Is there are example after example of people trying to skirt the law and say, I'm not going to abide by it.
So are they better off if they all just get shit canned and then they go over to Twatter and it gets started up and that all those like-minded people and that whole cancer cell goes over and starts a new
welcome
Twatter?
To Parler.
Yeah,
welcome to Truth Social.
Well, we'll see.
You've complained about this from day one, the day it was announced, with whether it's Parler or is Getter one?
Yeah, I think so.
Getter, Parler, Truth Social. The problem was it was just going to further
divide.
And the only people you see that are on Parler or Truth Social that fight are just people that are looking to pick a fight. They're not looking for any sort of balance, and I don't have a problem with it. It's like, well, at least some lefties are in here. Right. I guess
somebody's got to troll.
Somebody's got to troll, or at least give some pushback to this stuff. But it makes me. I don't feel like an extremist. I don't feel like a fucking right-wing, nut job or anything like that. Some Nazi. But I don't feel comfortable going on a lot of those platforms. No, I just don't.
Just getting on a list. That's the way I look at it.
I want to be on the middle of the road YouTube. I'm fine on YouTube. I don't want to have to start encouraging everybody to go watch us on Parler, right? Because I feel like Parler was built out of necessity, to fix whatever YouTube's pulling.
So I mean, maybe this is the start of the drawback. Maybe righting the ship with Twitter, the town square, sort of sends that message across to, all right, we got to reel things back in. We gotta start evening it back out. Maybe not. But
I think you could make it work with Twitter, if because there's no doubt that Silicon Valley is filled with brilliant engineers and minds, and they are the brightest and the best in the world, essentially, when it comes to programming and software and whatever. I would like to see a Twitter where whatever Elon Musk deems, if he deems that, hey, look, 50% of this company is just flat fat. And I could tell you, working where I did, in my experience, there were plenty of positions you could have nixed. There were plenty of hey, well, it would be nice to have a fucking third, person to do this. And it's like, really? Okay, whatever. And you could just kind of see fat growing around the edges on some things. It'd be nice if he was being honest and went, look, honestly, I think we could get by with 50% of the staff. Okay, we've got 4,000 current employees. I think this job could be done with 2,000. And as you go, you find those 2,000 and you don't discriminate based on their woke ideology. But when they start lashing out, kind of like Netflix did, like if you don't like it, I'm sorry, we're putting our foot down, line in the sand. If you don't like this with Dave Chappelle, then you can leave. We're not booting Dave Chappelle's special. Yep. And what happened when they did that?
It all went away.
All went away.
Yep.
It's been very quiet on the Netflix front, hasn't it? Isn't that kind of remarkable?
Yeah.
How all the threats, all the walkouts, all the fucking petitions and the storming out of the building.
It took the first person to finally stand up and say no.
No.
It just took the first person to finally do it.
Yeah. This isn't school. You don't get to behave like a toddler, act like an asshole, and expect us to welcome you back tomorrow.
Yep.
This is a place of employment, and if you don't like it, you can go work somewhere else.
Well, yeah. Okay.
That was kind of the attitude.
What's the threat? Okay, if we don't, then you guys are all going to be mad. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see what that is. What's that look like?
Would you like to keep your job and your fat salary, or would you like to cry a little bit and quit and storm out of here and act like you've been wronged and think that the world gives a shit?
Account?
Yeah, exactly. How big are your feelings in the bank account? Yeah. Because if you think the rest of the country's like, oh my God, these poor Twitter employees, did you see them walk out with their picket signs? Now they're being terminated. That doesn't exist in society. Like, most people are worried about their own shit. Yep. They're not worried about whatever woke nonsense you're dealing with today.
No, when you get caught up in that mob mentality, it's easy. But when it comes down to when the rubber meets the road, the shit hits the fan, and it's your ass on the line, your tone changes a little bit. But when you're just a number, you're just anonymous in the masses, it's easy. Yeah. But when it really starts to threaten you, it changes the tone a little bit.
Well, I would like to offer this sort of olive branch. I would be happy with this.
Okay.
Twitter settles on whatever its business model is, and that is absolutely going to change with an Elon Musk coming in, as it should, as any company being sold would. So if you want to keep these bright-minded people and just let them know, you can have an initial meeting and go, look, guys, I know you don't recognize it right now, but a lot of the world is not happy with you. They think that you are patronizing. They think that you're fucking elitist and above them. And the fact is you're not. You're not. And I'm not interested in running a company that treats its customers that way, who, seems to very clearly with receipts. You can bring receipts.
Oh, yeah.
To how you're treating one half of the country versus how you're treating the other half, where you are finding any stupid excuse to blow these people off the platform, and you're tying yourselves in knots to justify whatever criminal behavior you're justifying over here. It's obvious, and it stops now.
Yeah.
And then you have that meeting with people, and you go, now, you can either come to work and do what Twitter was supposed to do and enjoy your lavish lifestyle, enjoy all the fruits of your labor, all the benefits you get from working in Silicon Valley with all your meals paid for and your free fucking childcare and a goddamn gymnasium out back where you're playing fucking basketball and ping pong all day with your friends, and you can have that and just do your job. But then when it comes down and Twitter inevitably wants to push back, you fucking blow those people out. At the first sign of, well, Elon Musk told us this, but we don't have to abide by that. We're the real Twitter, blah, 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 blah. And this group wants to start a revolution inside Twitter.
And they don't want to have to come back to work when the boss tells them to come back into the office, and they want to keep working from home.
Bye. Bye.
Weird.
I'm just saying. And
just as a random example,
for the record, wasn't and you correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't Elon Musk one of the ones demanding that Tesla employees go back to work?
Come back to work. I think.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
I think he was. I think Apple did that. I think what's his name from Apple did that.
Jobs.
No. The guy after Jobs. What the hell's his name? The gay guy. Tim Cook. Yeah. I think Tim Cook did that, and they were all, I don't want to come back to work. That's when you blew up. But I think Elon Musk was like, we're not doing this. I need you in the office. Yeah. We need you in the office. I don't need you having meetings with your fucking screaming kids in the background, and you're walking your dog and you're on a meeting. No. Come into the office, do your fucking job, and go home.
Yep.
So I imagine he'll have the same
I would think so. That would be my guess.
Yeah. So we'll see how this plays out.
We shall.
Yeah. Brittany Griner.
What'd he do?
Well, he is still in a Russian prison. It's got to be fun being in a Russian prison for 8 months.
Maybe.
I don't know how her Russian is.
It's probably getting better.
I could go over there and teach her a little bit.
Yeah?
Yes.
Just like this?
How you like being in the Russian prison? I've spoken Russian for a long time, which is why Jenny and I get along so well.
Problem is being in prison in Russia has got to be a lot different than prison here. It's not an all-you-can-eat box buffet over there like it would be here.
No, she goes into a woman's prison here. Yeah, she's swimming in fucking heaven. She's got all the pussy she can eat.
Right.
There?
A little different story, I think.
Yeah. Don't even think about eating pussy in Russian prison. Not going to happen. The Phoenix Mercury Center and her legal team had hoped for an acquittal or reduction in the sentence that they believed was too severe and politically motivated. Oh. You did you?
Yeah.
Did you think that was going to happen in a Russian prison?
It is extra harsh, and it was politically motivated. But
Yeah. Don't fuck around in Russia. How about that?
Yep.
We don't have any fucking
So
jurisdiction there.
you hoped and it didn't happen?
It didn't happen.
Fucking weird.
You really hoped.
Yeah. Did you try hopes and prayers?
Yeah, thoughts and prayers and hopes. No judge, hand on heart, will honestly say that Griner's 9-year sentence is in line with Russian criminal law. Alexander Boykov, one of Griner's lawyers, said, yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it's not America.
But it is still within the parameters, so it's not...
You mean within their borders?
Well, no, I just mean like
They
within
could
their
sentence
scope.
her to death,
That's
Troy.
like the maximum penalty was like 9.5 years, I think,
Yeah,
right?
which is why they gave her 10.
No, they gave her 9.
I think they gave her like 6 months more than what the normal
Well, I think it was
mandatory
I thought they gave her just under the maximum is what I thought it was.
I thought it was just over the maximum. I could be wrong. If the court wants to punish her, it should give her a new, fair verdict and mitigate the punishment. The severity and cruelty of the sentence applied to Griner shocks people around the world. That's Russia. It doesn't really shock me. She has now been held for 8 months. A growing number of Americans have called for the Soup administration to do more to secure her release. Kyrie Irving took to the microphone at midcourt before his team's season opener to call on President Dementia to bring Griner home. I appreciate us being able to share this floor together, all of us as brothers. But the big picture that's going on in the world is free our sister, Brittany Griner, please. POTUS, do your job. Bring
Brittany,
our
please.
sister home. Happy birthday, Brittany Griner. We will not forget about you. We will not stop fighting for you. The W won't be the same until you're home, the league's Twitter account posted. Steph Curry did the same thing during the ring ceremony for the Warriors.
I bet you in about 2 years they forget all about her.
Oh, I bet you in about 6 months. I would say in the offseason. Here's the thing. First off, there are thousands of people in prison in America for the same crime. Okay? We could worry about them first. And here's the thing about those thousands of people. I bet none of them has taken a knee for the national anthem or demanded that the national anthem not be played at their work or at their games.
Yep.
Like Brittany Griner did. It's why it's hard for me. As much as I want to feel empathy for Brittany Griner, and I would for any American imprisoned around the world, you do what she did and demand that the national anthem and the American flag not be played and waved at any WNBA game going forward.
Don't bite the hand that feeds you.
All right. Guess what you're not seeing now? The American flag. Guess what else you're not hearing now?
Yeah.
The national anthem. You won't have to hear it for 10 years.
I wish they would just like play it on a loop.
Yeah.
For
Yeah, and they could just stand there all patriotic. No, she must feel very blessed. She's not going to hear the American national anthem for a decade. And that
for
sounds
her.
harsh, and if she were to apologize, I'd be Team Griner all over again. But the fact is, these elitist fucking people constantly want to do this. Shit on the country they're from. Take advantage of the country they're from. And then go somewhere else, break a tiny little law, and face real injustice.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know.
Sucks.
The irony's not lost on me, sir.
Shouldn't be.
Hey, our boy Gabar and the team at Zott Ford and Holly take pride in making buying and leasing new and pre-loved rides simple, fun, fast, and easy. Zott Ford has more inventory now than they've had in almost 2 years, and they get new cars, trucks, and SUVs every day. So if they don't have what you want in stock, they can tag it and get it on the way to you sooner. Plus, Zott's got the deals, baby. For example, you can lease a 22 Ford Edge as low as $242 a month, or a fully loaded 22 Explorer, $297 a month.
All right.
Both in stock and ready to go. Finally, Zott Ford is still paying top dollar for your trade-in and giving an extra $1,000 for military and first responders. You can see their inventory and get details at dealsinthed.com. Tell them we sent you.
I want to ask you something, T. If you agree with this line of reasoning
Okay.
being used in court
Okay.
for Harvey Weinstein,
I was going to say that just look at her.
just look at her as one of the finest defenses
Yeah.
in American,
All right.
the American court system, the justice system.
Put his Mount Rushmore up there and have some ugly chick be like, no, you're not getting on this train. Sorry.
The defense lawyers for old Harv told the jury their client behaved in a manner that was accepted at the time before the Me Too movement changed everything. What they mean is before the Me Too movement fucked everything.
Quid pro quo was totally a thing.
Weinstein's second sexual assault trial began this week in L.A. with 8 women ready to testify against the former Hollywood producer. Weinstein's attorneys say the women were willing participants in those sexual acts because they stood to gain from them. Mm-hmm. Look at my client.
Right?
He's going with the male look at him defense.
Yeah. Okay.
How great is that? When was the last time you saw a defense like that for men? Look at him.
Yeah. The problem is he has the power. So it doesn't matter how ugly he is or how weird that dick is.
Yeah.
On the other end of that disaster is a role.
Yeah.
And a payday.
And a good role.
Yeah.
I'm
generally.
sorry. Weinstein Productions put out some good shit.
Yep. Now
they really did.
There's something to that. There's a lot to that.
Yeah.
That I don't know how many of these, what percentage were active, willing, just, for sure. I'm in. Is that that's what it's going to take? Okay, I'll do it. How many were like, okay, fuck, I'm just going to do it and then go home and fucking throw up?
Yeah.
And how many were true victims? I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
but if it's been a known sort of quid pro quo, while less than ideal, they knew what they were. If that was sort of the unwritten rule. Hey, if you want this movie, all you got to do is go blow that warty dick.
Yeah.
And you can get in it. They'd be lining up around the block.
They would.
Yeah.
You think the line for the table read, or not the table read, but the
under the table read?
Under the table read, yeah. The line that is out the door going for the
Chick-fil-A?
the casting, right? For casting. If you think that's a long line, the one where you could just blow him and get the part, and think about the parts we're talking about. We're talking about Pulp Fiction, right? We're talking about real roles. Yeah. That the Weinstein Company,
they put out monsters.
And when you look at the list of absolute crushing monster hits they put out, the Weinstein Company is right there. He said, look at my client. Attorney Mark Worksman said, he's not Brad Pitt or George Clooney. Do you think these beautiful women had sex with him because he's hot? No, it's because he's powerful. Worksman admitted that Hollywood is different now, but at the time, transactional sex was used and accepted in the industry. Sex was a commodity for rich and powerful men like my client. He continued referencing the infamous casting couch where the sexual acts took place. Transactional sex, it may have been unpleasant and now embarrassing, but everyone did it. He did it. They did it. The sequel to the casting couch is the #MeToo trial. They will play the part of the damsel in distress with this beast. They have to lie to themselves, to you, to this court. Their hypocrisy will be on full display. The prosecution had earlier described Weinstein as a predator. Prosecution's opening statement included quotes from women who claimed the producer forced them to participate in oral sex, plus groped, fondled, and raped them, then threatened retaliation if they spoke up. With tremendous fame and fortune came fame of fortune seekers. The accusers all engaged in consensual sex with Mr. Weinstein because they wanted to exploit their connection with Mr. Weinstein, and they knew they were having sex in exchange for something with value. Worksman focused on one of the accusers, Jennifer Seibel Newsom, the wife of Gavin Newsom. The attorney called her a prominent figure of the Me Too movement who had consensual sex with Weinstein and later called it rape. The defense used Weinstein's campaign contributions as proof of their version of events. She brought her husband to meet and party with her rapist. Who does that?
Yeah.
Exactly. Nobody is the answer. He took money from his wife's rapist for his political campaigns. The attorney said if Newsom wasn't married to the governor, she'd just be another bimbo who slept with Harvey Weinstein to get ahead.
Well, he's the
Wow.
one that got the head, but
Yeah.
I was scrolling through, man. they churned out movies, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
What do you got?
Like 20 a year.
Yeah.
I mean, all of them.
Yeah. Go
It's-
ahead.
it's-
List them off because I'm struggling to.
Okay, starting. I mean, let's see.
Just give me the hits.
2012. Yeah, that's okay. So, Silver Linings Playbook.
Love it.
Django Unchained.
Oh, awesome.
Escape from Planet Earth.
Nah.
Scary Movie 5. Let's see. I don't know.
Aren't all the Tarantinos?
Sin City. Yep.
Sin
Saint
City's
Vincent,
great.
St. Vincent. Paddington.
Is that the bear?
Yep. Hateful Eight.
Yeah, love it.
Yep.
Love that
Crouching
movie.
Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Okay, big, popular.
Sure. I don't know, but I don't know what half of it. Man, the Iron Mask.
Yeah, that was big.
I don't know what half the movies are, but just is.
Just list
was
the ones you do know.
I know. Well, I'm already out of there. But even into
But you
the
didn't
TV
mention Pulp Fiction. Was
project,
it?
I was
what are
already
the-
well past that. I was started.
What
in
are the
like
ones?
2012.
What are the other ones like?
Apollo 18 or Idiot
Mr.
Brother.
Pink and Mr. Brown. Like, wasn't that a Weinstein?
Yeah, that's. Oh, come on.
Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs. Thank you.
Yeah.
The King's Speech.
that
I'm
was
sure, but
big.
I'm going back in time here, so it's. Now I'm going backwards, making it all weird.
Look, I have.
Zach and Miri make a porno.
Yeah. I think it's fair to say you and I have dear friends in LA that are in the industry
Yeah.
that we respect and love and all that. And we're not talking about them, but literally everybody out in there is not from there. They're all in the industry in some way, or used to be in this industry, wanted to be in the industry.
Yep.
And it's not a knock on all them. We have, like I said, a lot of great friends that are out there trying to make a name for themselves and whatnot. But by and large, this group has so stuck their noses up at the rest of the country and acted in a certain way that it makes it hard to not just go, who cares? Let these depraved Hollywood elites swim in their own narcissism.
You sold your soul a long time ago.
We all knew what Hollywood was about. Do you think that Harvey Weinstein was the only one?
Yeah.
Casting couch is a real thing. It's been a real thing forever.
I know. I've watched the movies.
Yeah. Like that's what it was. You want this role. And I'm sorry, it affected women way more than it affected men. But I guarantee you there are some gay Hollywood male producers out there and some A-list celebrities that you probably know at one point before you knew him sucked that dude's dick.
Probably.
And will never fucking make a lawsuit about it or make a claim. It's horrifying to remember, especially now.
There's probably some women in
they're
charge
not-
that took some deep dickens too.
Fuck yeah.
Over it.
But these people, it's one thing to be in the gutter, have nothing, living out of your car, living on a sidewalk, going to casting calls, begging for a chance, and some fucking Hollywood producer who's doing the casting for a big Hollywood movie, and you're beautiful. You might be homeless in your car, but you're beautiful. You could get this role. It's going to cost you a little something, a little piece of your soul, though. You're going to have to suck this guy's dick. I promise you, to a man, there are not that many morally grounded people that would deny that opportunity and not take that they would suck that dick and they would end up in that movie and, never look back.
Problem is,
Never look back.
it still doesn't make it right.
No, of course not. But it is what it is. We've all known it.
Well, it's true, but it still just doesn't make it right. Even though it was accepted practice when he did it, it still wasn't right.
Oh, I'm not defending Weinstein. He's a fucking monster. Don't get me wrong. But it's my whole point is it's hard to feel sorry for an incestuous industry that has done this to themselves. And now that they get caught, they can't wait to get on their fucking soapbox now and shame anybody else who doesn't fall in line with their movement. It's like, wait a minute. You are the cause of the movement. You are the problem.
Yeah.
Right? There are individual instances around the country of problems. Yours was a fucking hell nest that you created. And you swept under the rug because money was on the line, because stardom was on the line.
That's why it took that long for it to come out.
Right.
The first time it happened, nobody went screaming. They just went to the bank.
Yeah. And most of the time people would say, wrongly, well, you blew the guy for a part. What do you want me to do about it? We all know why.
Bitches on the street, they'll do it for $20 and a rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to roll out of it.
Yeah. Why would a 20-year-old 10 blow this 60-year-old fucking cretin who looks like an elf monster. Why would you ever do that? Because you were in love with him? No, because you knew he could
How
offer
many
you
do you
something.
think he screwed over?
Probably more than one. Probably.
I mean, you know what I mean? Hey, I tell you what, you blow me, I can probably get you in this movie, and then have the top 10 leads do it, and only one gets the lead.
I remember Amy got a role on.
Bet you did.
On like Hill Street Blues or something, or NCIS or one of those, Law and Order.
Yeah.
And it was a
Shout out Tiffany Dion, by the way.
Yeah,
Nice job,
yeah,
girl.
killing it. She's doing great. Our friend Michelle, the lovely and talented younger sister. But Amy got a role, and so they put her up for a few months in Santa Monica, right? 10th and Montana. They're all named after numbers and states around Santa Monica. And so she was at 10th and Montana, which is 10 blocks off the ocean. It was awesome. And she was going out there, and it was like this casting group that got her this role on whatever show it was, and she played, I don't know, a fucking dead hooker in the alley, you know.
So she was out there for months to be a dead hooker?
Well, they were going to get other roles.
Oh, okay.
And I remember I went out there for a few weeks.
Let's say, seemed like a dead hooker could be a hotel gig, but carry on.
Right. It was a role in the, and so anyway, these people were getting terribly frustrated with her because they wanted to hang out and they wanted to do dinner and drinks. And they didn't want her boyfriend. What do you mean boyfriend? And it was like, yeah, I have a boyfriend in Detroit. And I went out there for a couple weeks and they weren't happy about that. And Amy was just, she wasn't a cheater. She wasn't a whore.
Yeah.
She wasn't any of that stuff. And so she didn't give a fuck who you were. She was not going to sleep with you for a role. She was just that person. Right. It's just the way she was. And she could kind of be cunty about it and turn people off with her attitude. You know, she could be kind of shitty.
Nobody likes no from a hot chick.
Right. And she'd been propositioned enough and dealt with like that enough to know, you know, the signs, the telltale signs.
I can imagine being in like the boxing industry too, you know.
Yeah. Male-dominated field. Well, these guys that put her up in this, you know, condo for 3 months, they expected something for that.
Yep.
And she wasn't going to play ball. And she was not afraid to tell you, go fuck yourself. That I'll give her that. She would absolutely tell someone, go fuck yourself. And I'm not leaving this condo. You brought me here for 3 months. I'm staying here for 3 months. And no, I'm not going to dinner with you. And no, I'm certainly not sleeping with you. Yep. Fuck off if you don't like it. And then they would fight. They would just fight.
And then she didn't get any more roles.
Yeah. And maybe she could have. And believe me, I had 1,000 discussions with her like, you know what? Sometimes you just got to play the game. It doesn't mean you fuck someone. I'm not saying that. But sometimes you don't have to give your opinion on everything about the script or the role. Like sometimes you just got to go in and fucking shut your mouth, put your head down, and do what the director says.
Go smile, have a meal. You know.
Yeah.
Don't.
And I'm not. I don't mean to paint her in a bad light.
No, of course
regarding
not.
that
Not at
all.
all.
I really
Sounds like
don't.
she's getting above board.
Yeah, she really was, but I guarantee you she was the exception to the rule. That there were lots of people that would have
probably
jumped on a Harvey Weinstein, as ghoulish as that guy looks.
Yeah,
for a
I'm
role.
sure. Well, I mean, it's been a male-dominated industry, and that's they held the keys to the car and like, okay, you want to take it for a ride? Come to Papa.
Yeah,
and you know that is, even though it was how it was done, you know, for way too long, and people played along with it. You know, there's a lot of people that you know, I'm sure did it begrudgingly, very begrudgingly, you know, and
then compartmentalize the shit out of it.
Tried, yeah, exactly, you know, but
well, it sucks because I'd like to just take every one of these women at face value for their word, but that industry is so notorious for its shenanigans and what they do that I can't help but like. Oh, now that there's thousands of women who have come out, you're all jumping on this bandwagon. Woe is me. Like, you know what the deal was. Yeah. You know why you're going to Harvey Weinstein's apartment at midnight. Like, what are you fucking dumb?
It took the one chick to be like, I didn't want to do it, and go public. And they're like, but didn't you do it? Like, well, yeah, I didn't want to do it either. Nobody's going to be like, yeah, fuck yeah, I took that shit all the way down. Kidding me?
I bet
you know how many rolls I got out of that thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
And once you break down the door, all you got to do is kill it in one roll.
Right.
And then it's like, oh my God, you're the beautiful girl from Pulp Fiction.
Right.
You know, now we tap you for MGM's whatever and Warner Brothers. And now you've got enough clout and name recognition that you don't need to be that person anymore. It's almost like, you know, a rite of passage in a weird fucking sadistic way.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, if you were, it's one thing if you were the number one candidate. Like you were the best, you were the most qualified, you were the perfect for that role.
Yeah.
But you still had to blow them to get it. Right?
Yeah.
It's another if you were a bit subpar, but I think I could get you to jump the line if you weren't going to get it without this.
Right.
Right? Type thing. Come by tonight and we can talk about it. Maybe we can get you jumped ahead of Uma Thurman there, and we'll get you into the starting lineup.
Yeah, the problem with that is
I'm saying, so that's sort of like, okay, you weren't going to get it. So if you're willing to do that to jump the line and get it, then you know what you're doing. But if you're like, okay, you were going to get it, but this is just the last fucking, you know, you got to do 9 reads and then, you know, some knees.
Yeah.
And that's just the process. Like, that's worse to me.
Well, you got to think too. There's Quentin Tarantino's of the world who are going to be just as egotistical and just as married to their decision making, right? Someone like Tarantino is very hands on, and if he wants Uma Thurman in his movie, whether you blew fucking Harvey Weinstein or not, so there could be some young hot thing coming up, and Harvey Weinstein's promising roles he can't deliver on, because at the end of the day, Quentin Tarantino goes, dude, I'm putting my foot down. It's Uma Thurman. She's what I wrote this part for. So no, I don't give a shit about Sherry, who I don't know what you thinking you see in her.
Yeah.
She's not right. Like,
Great top of the head.
right. But I think there's a lot of these where people were and that's bullshit. If you're going to demand head, and
yes.
you know what I mean,
That's
you better,
there's
you
some
got to come
variables.
through. Have some respect for yourself, sir.
I wonder how many fucking were littered along the roadside.
Hundreds. And in a time of like, who are you going to tell?
Yeah.
Because that would have been the attitude.
Right.
Who the fuck are you going to
You're
tell?
a nobody B-lister trying to make it.
Yes.
And I'm Harvey Weinstein.
I'm Harvey
You'll
Weinstein.
never get another read in this town again.
Exactly. Do you think
You can't get a commercial in Turkey if you cross me.
Exactly. And you know he would have been playing that card. Of
course.
If you're willing to take your diseased dick, which he had. Remember, he was taking needles in the dick just to get hard.
Yeah.
And it was blistered and shit, and his breath stunk. All the girls said he stunk, his breath stunk, his dick was a mess.
You think we're having this conversation if it was like the DiCaprio film company?
Right?
Not an ogre behind the curtain.
Yeah, ogre. That's the word I've been looking for, and I keep calling him everything I'm calling him. An ogre. He's an ogre.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know. And who knows? Maybe the DiCaprio film company's doing the same thing, but nobody's complaining.
Right?
You know? Maybe that's it. Here's what I would say, though. I bet there are. Oh, when did Hollywood really come into its own? The 40s?
Yeah, even
Where
before that, I think.
Right. But when you're talking about moving pictures and talkies, you know, color, Technicolor, when all that, like 40s, 50s, 60s, it really came into its
really
own.
blew up, yeah.
That's when you had really shitty acting, you know. Yeah, see?
Right.
Ah, yeah, babe, what you doing over there? See? you know, these overacting weird things, like they've kind of honed it now.
Oh, yeah.
But back then, I bet homosexuality was shamed. And be honest, it was shamed until the mid 2000s,
Right.
even in California. So the amount of guys, actors that suck dicks for a part, I bet is God only knows.
Yeah.
But the problem is those guys, there's still a bit of shame. Even if you were raped on some level or seduced or drugged, there's still a level of shame that comes with being a man. Like, I didn't get my fucking asshole fucked. Like, that they're not saying a word.
Yeah.
So there's probably
taking that one to my grave.
There's a lot of gay producers out there like, phew, thank God men are shallow and they're not ever going to fucking out me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because there's probably a shitload of guys that hunker down on a helmet or two for a fucking role.
The Mr. 2 movement's going to come out, and it's going to be like one dude be like, right, guys?
Guys?
They were here a minute ago.
Oh, Johnny Depp, you want the role of What's Eating Gilbert Grape? Well, you better start eating this grape, if you know what I mean. What would it do if you found out Johnny Depp sucked cock to get What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
It would be better than Leo getting it. Wasn't he like 9?
Yeah. He played special needs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never go full retard.
He didn't go full retard. Yeah, he sort of did, though. But
No, not full. Yeah, you gotta still have like some personality. You gotta have like.
He was pretty close to full. Yeah, like he was full on, dude. But I think he was nominated for that.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
before you knew you could actually get a real one to play the role.
Which they would demand now. You couldn't play that role now.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I can bring 3 of my friends. Hey, this part of the show is brought to you by Janet Davis Cleaners on Woodward and Berkeley. It's family owned since 1938. They offer free pickup and delivery. They use only the best environmentally friendly cleaning methods, meaning it's guaranteed odor free. This is a full service dry cleaners, casual clothes, work clothes, wedding gowns, sheets, comforters, duvets, and more. You can visit janetdaviscleaners.com or call them at 248-543-0340. Mention TDC, that's us, and get $20 off your first order.
Man, I hate reading stories like this.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. I do. These are the ones that bother me.
Dead babies?
No, I don't give a shit about dead babies. Kill all the babies. I don't care. Fucking babies. Worthless. They're just going to grow up to be human assholes anyways, so tell me I'm wrong.
Odds are.
Yeah. Odds are they're going to grow up to be absolute assholes in society. So I have no problem with dead babies. SIDS is my favorite disorder, you know, right?
Oh, smart.
Yeah. I mean, as far as syndromes go, is there anything better than SIDS?
It's right up there.
It's up there. Fury. A video recorded at Arvin High School in Kern County, California. I don't even know where Kern County is.
Neither do I.
Shows school bullies giving a haircut to a special needs boy who cries as he's mocked by the group. I didn't see the video. All the videos that I saw were news reports.
Bakersfield
Bakersfield, northern.
is Kern County.
Is that southern or northern? I think Bakersfield. Southern, okay. Suburb of L.A.?
Let's see. Yep, just north of L.A.
Okay.
Between L.A. and Fresno.
Okay. The teenage boy at the Central Valley High School was forced to shave his head and began crying in front of a crowd of students. The kids can be heard using explicit language and telling the boy not to cry in Spanish. Okay.
All right.
So, yeah, Spanish speaking.
No Wawa. What is that? No.
No Wawa. Yeah. Stop. No mas Wawa.
Yeah.
Yeah. A spokesperson for the high school district gave the following statement. Arvin High School administration is aware of the video circulating on social media. The behavior exhibited in the video is clearly unacceptable. We do not condone bullying of any kind. When students breach the boundaries of acceptable behavior, they will be held accountable for their actions, and the school will provide support to any affected student. The incident is being thoroughly investigated, and appropriate disciplinary actions will be taken. The boy's mom, Avelina Santiago, said she's destroyed. My boy is a very nice person. He's very innocent. He just wanted to fit in and make friends. He wanted to be like everyone else. I could just see it. He gets dressed for school. He's got his new skibbies on. Wants to be liked by everybody. And then the popular kid shaved his head. Santiago said at first she felt alone in her pursuit of accountability for her son. Yeah, I bet. I bet no one gave a flying fuck until got a little news coverage.
Yeah, till the video got out.
Yeah. But then I saw all the people who were supporting me. She added that her son's doing well now. He's been receiving support from his family. Parents shared their concerns that Arvin High condones bullying, and the latest viral video was hardly an isolated incident. Local business owner, I don't know what Abby Cortez has to do with this, said the protest occurred because nothing was being done. The principal didn't want to talk to the mom, Santiago, or me. They didn't want to come out. I bet. I hate stuff like that when you take full advantage of special needs kids.
Of course, that's the lowest of the low, the shittiest of the shit.
Yeah. It's why it always bothered me, you know, the bullying that Isis took, because he's just a good boy. He's a nice kid. It was a little odd.
Yeah,
you
right.
know, he's just a little odd.
Introverted.
Yeah.
Just off, and that triggers people.
I remember having kids that I went to elementary school with, like that, a girl in specific, I still think of to this day. And she, you know, she just wasn't a popular kid.
Yeah.
She was very, very quiet. She, would let us come over to her house, not even let us. We'd just go over and play basketball. Her dad put a rim up,
Yeah.
To try to help her get friends. And, we just played basketball on the rim and, and shit like that. But I remember kids throwing gum in her hair, knocking books out of her head. She wasn't terribly bright. It wasn't like she was a nerd who really excelled. And it's like, well, you're going to have your day.
Yeah.
In the future, you'll be, but
You're just a weirdo. So
yeah, you're weird now, but eventually you keep studying hard. You're going to be the cool kid eventually who's a doctor.
Right.
She was never going to be a doctor.
you'll be everybody else's boss eventually.
Yeah. And God knows what she's doing now,
Yeah.
or, it's just, but it breaks my heart because kids are so fucking mean and so evil to other kids,
I had my, my time as a bully, I guess, but not really,
Yeah.
like me and you, I shoved you in the locker, right?
Yeah.
But that wasn't like, I didn't target you. I didn't torment you.
No.
You know what I mean? Things
No.
like that. I didn't do that because you were, weaker and it was a situational thing. But,
Yeah, sure.
Well, no, but I mean,
you need to justify that.
no,
later.
well, right. I thought you were a cop. Was the fucking problem, narc. No, but I mean, I never did that. Like, I never really punched down.
Yeah.
And I would actually defend against that.
Yeah.
So I have zero tolerance.
Yeah.
For that. On
And
any
this
level.
this is not something totally new because we went to school with the second floor was
Special needs.
Was special needs.
The towers, not the second floor. It's the tower.
The tower.
Yeah.
I thought it was second floor. Third floor was band and second floor was
Okay.
no? Am I remembering that wrong?
I think so.
But it was in our school.
Yeah.
That you had special needs kids, and so all the special needs kids from the district basically
Yeah.
went to Harrison.
Exactly, because they were the only ones.
And
set
so
up.
it was very common to see kids, with various different special needs.
Yeah.
And in the 90s, children were much harsher to each other than they would be, I'm guessing, today.
Yeah.
But I remember, I'll never forget it. And it was a very popular kid, Think of the most popular kid in school. He was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And he accused one of the special needs kids of looking at his girlfriend's ass.
All right.
Who you would know all parties involved.
Yep.
And he's fucking shaking this kid into a locker and like fucking with him. And like the whole whoever was on that third floor was around
Watching
him,
it happen.
watching it happen.
Yeah.
And they would have been guilty of recording it on their cell phones had those
Exactly.
existed at the
Right.
time. And I remember me of all people grabbing him, and I was new to the school, but I knew him and he knew me. We were kind of neighbors.
Yeah.
I was like, "What the fuck are you doing, dude? What the fuck?" And pulled him away and was like, "Dude, what are you gonna do? Beat up a fucking goddamn special needs kid? Is that really what we're doing right now?"
Besides, let him look at your hot girlfriend's ass.
Yeah, and really, is that what he was doing, or does he just have a fucking neurological head bob that you can't control?
Yeah.
Like, really, this is what we're doing now? We're gonna, and shame on all of you other kids standing around here, almost laughing and cheering this on to a petrified special needs kid. Right, but petrified.
What he has no recourse there.
None. Zero. The only recourse he has
Although
is
there's supposedly
the sympathy of other children in the school who really didn't have much sympathy for him. I'll be honest with you.
There's supposedly some strength there.
He wasn't one that would have
not one of
had it.
those.
No,
Okay. He didn't take no sag out of the chair. All right. Yeah, just gonna say there's potentially some strength that can be unleashed there.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about our strength. Yeah. This was not one of those instances.
Okay, fair enough.
But
just say.
nonetheless,
careful.
just to say that bullying on these levels went on that people are probably nicer to each other today, or
would
at
think
least
so.
pretend to be for social media.
And for the most part, 'cause, I mean, I went through that district my whole life, and I can't remember any real incidents like that against that community.
Yeah. It's the only one I remember.
Yeah.
Only one.
Everybody seemed pretty. Maybe it's just more because we were just used to it, I guess. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it would just be one thing if maybe it was out of the blue. I don't know. I don't have an explanation, but
Well,
fortunately, it didn't seem too rampant back then. Is my point.
No.
Of course, there's going to be isolated incidents here and there. There's going to be.
Oh, you mean like a
assholes.
gluttoner grabbing one in a wheelchair and fucking racing him down the hallways? I mean, that shit happened. But it wasn't a hatred for them.
That was they loved it. That was a race. They
They were already paralyzed. They weren't going to get hurt anymore.
Right.
No, but I remember at the time thinking, because that was my first experience seeing these students in school, like in common with, everyday student body. Like that didn't happen in schools that I grew up in and went to.
I know, we had them all.
Before I went to Harrison. But it was like, to see the rest of the student body behaving like that, and I don't know if they didn't know what to do because it was a super popular kid.
Yeah, that's the weird hierarchy of a lot of that too.
Exactly. But at the time it was like, oh, okay, so what would it have taken for you guys to go, hold on, wait a minute. Did he need to be a quadriplegic in a wheelchair being pushed around by a fucking asshole? Is that what needed to happen before someone
actually have to take a swing at the guy?
Yeah.
Start hitting him.
But slamming him into a locker and fucking shaking him around wasn't enough? Really?
I don't know.
Really?
I can say I was not there.
Yeah. No, you weren't. No, I can say you weren't either. And I don't think you would have put up with that either. And not that I'm a hero by any means.
No.
I figured that would probably be my last day at that school with
Right.
any friends. But
See you outside at 3:00.
yeah,
You're a dead man.
it's just sad. It's sad that society treats
It is. You know what? And I'm glad you didn't pull that video because I don't even want to watch it.
I know. Yeah, true.
And I hope that
In my defense, I would have pulled it could I have found it, but
that's fine.
I'm kind of glad now I didn't either. We don't need to see it.
Nope.
Poor kid.
Indeed.
I feel bad for him. He looks a little chubby, and he had decent hair, brown hair, and then they made him shave his own head. And he's crying. It's fucking awful.
It is
breaks
awful.
my heart.
Yeah,
Honestly, it really fucking bothers me when I hear stories like that. There's a lot of people that deserve the shit they get.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who in society who are assholes to everybody. I think of what's her cunt, married to the piano player, dickhead, Chrissy Teigen.
Oh, yeah.
Chrissy Teigen. It sounds like when you look at her background, bullying people, bullying much lesser people than, encouraging them to commit suicide and not giving a flying fuck about it. Fuck her.
Yeah.
And she's being called out about it now. And yeah, I feel terrible and blah, blah, blah. Fuck you. The fact that you could ever treat someone like that and say that stuff to people tells me all I need to know about you.
World-class piece of shit.
Yeah, you're ugly as shit, inside and out to me. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't find her attractive at all.
No.
Not even like...
There was a day.
No, not even for me.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Not my type.
Should we get to some email?
All right.
I'll hold some stories for later in the week.
Okie dokie.
Grammatical errors. The grammatical errors were put in on purpose. So this is the one he misspelled. What was the one?
Okay. Pussy with an EY.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you think you were going to get censored there, or was this for your phonetics? Pussy.
As a longtime listener, I recall Jay always reading emails and acting like he was struggling with any word being misspelled. I thought it was just him being a smug fuck, but now I see it might all come around to you. I didn't. No.
Huh.
No. Not spelling pussy correctly.
That's inexcusable.
That's a problem. That's a problem. And it wasn't the first one on the page.
I'm surprised you gave him another read.
Yeah. Well, I'm not seeing grammatical errors. It might be too.
I'm sure he turned the spell check on for this one.
Yeah. I said Newberg, lowercase n.
Yeah.
That's how lack of respect he has for Newberg.
Oh, there you go.
Won't even capitalize his fucking name, dude.
Boy. Uh-huh.
I said Newberg sucks at the end because I am the same guy who called out that Dingleberry for not being funny. He then proceeded to have you on his show and name it after me. I am so honored to have an episode of an unfunny show named after me. Chris Kojakar. Now I remember.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I remember doing that episode. I was the fault of that because I read that email to Newberg right out the gate and said, by the way, this listener of mine thinks you suck and are not funny. And then Newberg just, him. He Newberg. He's very sensitive, Newberg. If you know anything about entertainers, most of them are. Yeah. Newberg's no exception. And so he thinks, oh my God, Chris Kojakar doesn't find me funny. I must not ever be funny. Yeah. Instead of just laughing it off. So then it was just a constant reference to Chris Kojakar, Kojakar. So,
I remember.
Yeah, you do?
I do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It still doesn't excuse the grammatical errors.
Yeah, especially pussy, P-U-S-E-Y. Come on, stop. What are those shoes? Kaibas? Did I read that one before?
Yeah.
I maybe did. Kaibun. KYBUN. I'm wearing them right now. They're very, very comfortable. These are the ones that I'm not supposed to name who gave them to me, NFL Bob.
I think you did.
I did not. There's no human being named NFL Bob. So but yeah, he got me these, and they're helping my back. I think I can only imagine how bad my back would be without them. Let's just put it that way. They're the most comfortable shoes. They're too expensive for my taste, but
They were gifted.
yeah, they were gifted by what's he got, like 10,000 Bitcoins or something? 20,000 Bitcoins?
Something, I don't remember what
He won't tell me the exact number, but every time I say like 1,000, he goes higher. I go 10,000, higher.
Yeah.
That's all he'll tell me is higher.
Exactly.
Higher. So I'm like, 100,000 Bitcoins? He's like, higher. And I was like, all right.
I think
guess I
that means
know.
he's got like 4 now.
Yeah. Okay, we'll save that one. Okay, Cult Leader and Honky Kong.
Okie dokie.
This goes back to poem number 1646.
Okie dokie.
I'm sure you remember it well.
Well, we'll see. Was I there?
Of course you were there. Why wouldn't you be? Yeah. Dear Cult Leader and Honky Kong.
That could go back 17 years. I don't know.
That's true. That's true. No, you were here for this. I have to take issue with your thoughts on prison and crime. While you were entitled to your opinion, I'm entitled to tell you that you have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
You said that 23-hour lockdown is cruel and unusual punishment. Really? Do you think we lock them up like that because we want to? They are locked up because they are uncontrollable monsters that have refused all attempts at rehab. Okay.
Oh, is that what?
That wasn't the take we had.
No.
First off.
No. Is that why? What's his nuts? Knee on the neck.
Yeah, Derek Chauvin.
Chauvin, yeah. That's why, because he's a monster that has
And that's what we were basing that on. Mm-hmm. That Derek Chauvin is sitting in 23-hour solitary confinement, and that is cruel and unusual punishment.
Yeah.
Now,
if it's going to keep him
Jim's
from getting killed and getting the booty raped, maybe it's in his best interest.
Seems like there's got to be a better way. Now, you can't coddle individual people, but it just seems like there's a better fucking way.
Can you have like a no rapey wing?
Or put look, if they're not an absolute threat to the people around them, and I would argue Derek Chauvin is not going around kneeling on necks all over the prison, right? I don't think of him as like he was a cop for God's sakes.
Right.
He's not a big guy. You could put him in a minimum security place where nobody's beating anybody up or raping anybody because they're all looking to get out at some point.
Yeah.
They all have incentive to get out. That's where you put someone like that when you go, look, it's either that or we put him in this fucking hellhole where we have to stash him in 23-hour solitary, where he's got no access to books, TV, anything.
Yeah, but he was found guilty of 3 different murder counts and
was he?
And
I know.
Civil rights violation, let's not forget.
I know. But he's not a danger or risk to anybody around him.
Well, unless you're a black guy on the street.
Yeah. Again, if he starts kneeling on necks in jail, we can circle back. The fact is he's not a violent threat, and you know it.
I don't.
You know it. That was a political show trial. Fine. You got your guilty verdict, whatever. I will abide by what the jury found. It's murder. But there's plenty of people in lower minimum security, medium security. You don't need to be at fucking Rikers to prove your point, is what I'm saying. Now, if he's talking about the uncontrollable monsters that have been given a chance after chance, can't stop killing their fucking roommate, can't stop, fine,
then
by all means.
I don't consider that cruel and unusual punishment
No,
either.
they've earned it.
Yeah.
They've earned it. Mm-hmm. When you start showing me, Derek Chauvin spent the first 6 months in prison making shanks, and then he went on a rampage and fucking stabbed half the people in the prison, fine. Throw him in solitary. Yeah. That's what he deserves. You gave him a chance to fucking grow into this new community of his, and he fucked it up. Yep. And so now we had to throw him in solitary. So I take issue with that, Jim. Mm-hmm. Let's see. We have many prisoners who assault staff every time they are let out. Do you think Derek Chauvin's going to do that? Because that's who we were talking about.
Exactly.
I don't think Derek Chauvin, the former cop, is going to be assaulting prison guards.
I don't think so.
I imagine there are lots of people who will, Jim, to your point.
Yes, sir, of course.
But I wouldn't think he's one of them.
Neither of us have any issue with that, do we?
None. Okay. Zero issue. Zero. Or they hurt themselves every time they are let out. We have a prisoner who has sent 12 of my brothers and sisters to the hospital. We have many prisoners who, as soon as they are let out, swallow whatever they can get their hands on or cut themselves open or pop their eyeball out. What do we do with them? We give them the best medical and mental health that we can. The safety of the staff is priority, and they want the help, and they have to want the help. Totally understand. I have no problem with any of that.
Sure.
No problem with any of that, Jim. We're on the same side.
Yeah.
Every state prisoner requires a prisoner to get a GED before they can leave.
That's a mandatory? You have to get a GED before you can leave prison?
Every state prison requires a prisoner to get a GED before they can leave.
Really?
That seems okay.
I've never heard that ever.
I mean, it's in their best interest.
It is.
If you're looking to give someone a chance.
I don't see how that applies to serving a sentence for a crime.
Right.
Yeah, I was sentenced to this many years. I've never heard a judge go, 12 to 15 years and get your GED.
Yeah. I've never heard that either, but you know.
Hey, this guy's obviously more intimately involved with the system than we are.
And you know what? You've got nothing but time on your hands. You might as well.
Sure.
Go get a fucking master's.
Exactly.
Why not? What else do you have to do? Jackson
What do you get a
College?
master's in? Like toilet wine?
I don't know. No, you can get a law degree.
As a classic vintner?
Yeah, no, you can get a law degree and stuff. There are people that at least put themselves on the fast track towards it. I know what you're saying, though. Jackson College and other colleges provide the ability to get college degrees. Every prison has vocational programs so they can learn food service, construction, learn to be a mechanic or to drive a truck. Civilians come in to teach them how to write a resume, how to interview. All of this is free. What else can we do? The bottom line is they have to want to do better. In my experience, most don't want to. I agree with you that prisoners shouldn't be subject to rape, assault, and bad food. The maggoty food was a result of cheap-ass food service providers. The state took this back over, and this hasn't happened again. I still see those same, what is it, Aardvark or whatever, trucks, that company.
Yeah, I thought they were uniforms.
Are they? I don't remember which one it was, but the food service, whatever. I still see those trucks around that they were accused of, the maggots in Michigan food.
Well, maybe they were just giving the shit to the prisons.
Yeah.
So
it's usually potatoes that go rotten.
Sure, that'll happen.
There is a very simple way to fix these issues. Tons of money. Give us enough money to hire the staff we need, bring the pension back, do the training we need to do, and buy the equipment we need, and these issues will go away. Unfortunately, this will never happen. The state prison system is not a for-profit enterprise. Private prisons are bullshit and shouldn't be allowed.
Right.
We do the best we can with what we have. Jim, resident corrections officer. Jim, we are 98% on the same page.
Absolutely right, sir. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And yeah, of course, I know states are not, but there are for-profit prisons. There are private ones that are. And that's where I really have the issue.
Yeah.
But not that, like, the state-run prisons seem to be, like, way better.
Yeah.
or anything.
Well, I think there's a, at least I'm guilty of this. I want to give humans the benefit of the doubt to be good people, and that if you put them in a situation to be better people, they will. And the fact is that's not a reality, and the other fact is that's what Jim sees on a daily basis.
Yep.
So he's probably more jaded than most.
I'm sure, yes.
And maybe rightfully so. There's probably an element of animals that they love nothing more than to gain a little bit of trust just so they can fuck you up with it.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, waiting for the opportunity.
Waiting for an opportunity to carve you up, to ruin you, take advantage of you on every level, whether that's prison staff employees or people in their local community when they're on the outside. There just are those people, and it's very hard for normal people going through everyday life that have sympathies and empathies for fellow man that these individuals just don't have the capability of.
Yep.
And so to act like, some bleeding heart, like, oh my God, give everybody a chance and they'll all do, like, that's a fantasy world.
Yeah. The problem is that it's all lumped in together. I mean, there's people in there that absolutely probably shouldn't be in there. There's people that don't deserve to be in there. There's people that can 100% rehabilitate and come out a better person, hopefully.
Yeah.
But there's a large majority in there that have nothing to lose.
Right.
And that is the apple that ruins the bunch. I mean, you know what I mean? Like that tips the scales. If there's a whole section that's got nothing to lose,
right?
You think these guys can toe the line and keep their nose above board and keep everything,
Right.
No, they ruin it for everybody. I mean, not everybody, but you know what I'm saying.
I do.
It taints the pot.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go out on this one.
All right.
You're back.
Your neck?
Not like we're back.
Your back?
My pussy and my crack.
Oh, boy.
Sorry, Mrs. Mama?
Mama bully?
Mama bully. I was supposed to say mama bully. Please don't kill yourself. Talking about my back. And I said, all right, I'm getting to the point where I could kill myself.
Well, you're going to have to come up with some better reasons than just please.
Yeah. Please don't kill yourself. All right, you want some reasons? I had a buddy that struggled with his back for years, then out of the blue, bang, 2 kids and a distraught wife left behind. And you have way more to live for. Us. Call Lindell. He probably knows a guy.
Probably.
No promises. I can't make any promises.
Yeah.
Doing the best I can. I'm just hanging in there. I got no friends. I got nothing basically but this show, and I loves doing it. And I got Cece.
Well, okay. Fuck you too.
No, I got T-Roy as a buddy. That's true. T has real friends on the outside. Yeah, I just, I'm doing my best. Trying to not kill myself, but thank God NFL Bob got me these shoes. These keep me alive for another week or two.
There you go.
I'm gonna need new fancy toys and gifts to keep me going, T. Otherwise, I don't know.
Yep.
Can't make any promises.
Plus, there is the threat. Like I said, if he ever does something stupid, then I'm going to strip him naked and cover him in like kitty porn.
No, if I do that, I promise you what I would do is I would put a note on my door. I would lock the door, put a note on it that says, Troy, call 911, do not enter. And if you know that, it's a fucking shit show in my room.
Yeah.
So,
And I would rip the door down, open your door, strip you naked, cover you in kitty porn.
You're a dick.
Yeah. Well, listen, the threat is real.
Hopefully someone like Ron or Trav or Ryan would pull this audio and go, he wasn't really into kitty porn. This is what Troy swore he would do, and he did it. And here we have it on multiple. So mark this tape, mark this time, timestamp it.
It's fine. Go for it. Good luck.
Ron, you, of all people, I need to have my back on this.
Maybe it won't be kitty porn. I promise you, if you do it, none of these guys are going to have your back. They're going to pile on. They're going to help. They're going to help build the case. This son of a bitch.
What do I give a shit? I'll be dead anyways. And I didn't do anything creepy. I didn't strip myself nude. I didn't have gay porn all over me or kitty porn all over me. I'm just going on record right now. I didn't kill anybody. I didn't hurt anybody. I didn't fuck anything that I shouldn't.
Well, that's exactly what you would say.
Right. But I'm put it on fucking wax right now that I didn't do any of that stuff. I tried to be a good boy. Okay. And life was just too hard for me, T.
Yep.
All right. And on that sad fucking note, Troy's going to ruin my life. I got to let you go to work, change the locks, and then do it.
Fair. Good luck with that.
Fuck. It's kicking holes in all my plans. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of the day. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll do it again. Hopefully you'll join us then.